Hello, everybody. Welcome tonight, ladies and gents, if there are any in the chat room. So good to have you tonight. How's everyone's day gone? We survived our first day of school. Here's like frizzy. It's very humid in Illinois right now. Let's see the frizz. So we survived our first day in school. I'm going to look over this thing really quick and see. Let me see. What is that? What is this? I'm going to try to see if I can screen share on here. The video is live. You can't hear it? All right, just a minute. Can you guys, you can't see it. Can you guys see? Can you see me? Okay, you guys can see it? Okay, so she's the only one? Okay, awesome. I'm like, oh, great. Did I mess something up? I've been trying to figure out a way to do this on Wirecast because I want to screen share. But I cannot. I don't want to go YouTube home. Insert ad. I don't want to insert an ad. Does anyone know? I tried asking this question on Facebook and no one knew. Does anyone know how to do screen share on this setup? I don't see anything where I can screen share stuff. I really, really wanted to do screen share tonight because I had a lot of resources I wanted to show you. And I especially wanted to show you, the new math website that I have my girls on. I really like it, and they really liked it. They really enjoyed their first day of math. In fact, who can even say that? They enjoyed math. Chloe told me that it's just the first day, so she doesn't know what her favorite subject is, but so far it's math. I never thought I would hear Chloe say that. So it's really awesome. It's called teachingtextbooks.com. And I'm looking at it now. I thought it was very reasonably priced. I'm paying right around $50 to $60 for a year of math through ACE. And I think Allie's was $45, Chloe's was $55, and Abby's was $65 for a whole year of math. And it's really, really nice because they have someone giving an instruction every day. They have a lesson explaining how they do it. And then they have practice questions, and then they have regular questions that they do. And the curriculum scores itself. So I don't have to score it, which is awesome. Big, big plus for a homeschooling mama, many. And it keeps it right on there. So you can just go and you can see what they're struggling with. Obviously, I'm only a day into it, but it shows it. If they do miss an answer, it explains how you do it. It's really, really cool. So just after one day, I'm very impressed by what I see. And I think it's a very affordable price. And if you have more than, I believe, 4 children join it, they do a family rate. So you will never pay more than, I believe, $200 a year for everyone's math online, which is really, really cool. So I really liked that, but I cannot figure out how to screen share, which really stinks. I'm not happy that they got rid of Google Hangouts on here because I knew Google Hangouts. My husband's going to show me how to do Wirecast, and then I will be able to do screen share and all that. But what you can do is you can look it up with me on your phone. Okay, so go to teachingtextbooks.com. Okay, and it will come up. It will look like this, teachingtextbooks.com. And the 3.0 is what you want. And then you can log in and, you can see what the lessons that they did and everything. So that's a good thing. Yeah, there's a new discounted plan for large families. Let's see. So you will, not pay more. The cap is $199.08. So if you have a lot of children in math, 5 or 6 doing that you're teaching, this would be a great thing. Yeah, I can screenshot it later and post it to the GLS page. I wanted to show you guys live though. Oh, I hate this new thing. I'll get Wirecast figured out. not like we're not busy enough. But I did bring some books. Okay, so I don't have an outline at all. I'm just going to wing it tonight. Today was a super busy day. So I kind of wanted to go over kind of what we do for a homeschool day. If you guys have anything special that you do, go ahead and put it in the comments and let me see what those are. Jen said, I love self-scoring curriculum. Yes, it's great when you have a lot of kids. We use CTC math and they can't move on unless they get 80% or higher. You choose to set the percentage. I think it is 118 a year for the whole family. So that's really good too. I don't know what CTC math is. What do the letters stand for? Yeah, this is why I wanted to do the show. I wanted to kind of throw out some options that I am doing for myself. And I want all of you to comment a lot, put a lot of comments in there, tell what you do, let us know if there's shortcuts that you do. Let us know if you have advice. Let us know what your routine is like. This is a whole back to school edition, and I want all of your input too. And that way, future moms that are just starting out on this homeschool journey can look back and they can kind of pick and choose what they want for their family, because we all do. The neat thing about homeschooling is that it is adaptable. So like this year, I'm not even doing one set curriculum. I'm doing a whole bunch of curriculums, because as you homeschool more and more, you get more confident and you start to see your children's abilities. You start to see their weaknesses. You start to see their strengths, and you can kind of play off of those. You can do things for your weaker readers. You can have them read more. You can do more literature-based things. If they need help in math, you can get certain kind of workbooks to help. Maybe they need help in fractions, maybe they need help in reducing, maybe they need help in multiplication, division, things like that. So it's really nice because it's very, very adaptable. It's very stressful. Today, I hate the first day of school. Oh, I was so drained. I get so drained emotionally and mentally the first week back into the, the swing of things. It really drains me. And a lot of it's just because you're like looking for everything. You're looking for score keys. If you do ACE, you're looking for this, that. Maybe you're more organized than me, but I kind of tend to just kind of get organized the first day. So this is kind of my rough schedule. On Mondays, I do let them sleep in a little bit longer because we are at church so long. We're at church the whole day most of the time. And we do get back later. We stay up later. By the time you get home, you kind of want to decompress. So I do let them sleep in a little bit longer on Mondays. So I was up by 7 and I was able to nurse the baby and drink my coffee, read my Bible, do my Bible reading during that time, which is really nice to help me start it off on the right foot. And Lana was actually sitting up when I got up this morning, and I said, go back to bed. I don't think so. It was way too early. It was still dark. It was like dark and raining and everything. So everyone slept in till about 8, except for me and my son who went to work. But so we got up they all got up around 8, I believe, 8:30. We had breakfast. I had done steel cut oats in the Instant Pot. And while they were eating their oatmeal, I had my Bible, the 1 Year Bible app that I showed you last week. I had that playing. So he was reading off the scriptures. So the kids were listening to the scriptures that was playing. That's a really good option that you can do. That way, as I'm busy cleaning up and things, I'm not having to sit there, read out loud to them. So we got in the Bible time that way. I believe my oldest read the Bible on her own. And Jason, he never eats breakfast. So they did their Bible reading off on their own. And then let's see, by 9:30, I think they were started. And then it was just, I was being pulled in all these directions. And of course, Kelly was screaming her brains out a lot of the day. Oh, I almost took a picture of her screaming her brains out. Just sent my husband to say, this is what I'm dealing with. But I didn't. That's good. So what do I do for the first day of kindergarten? Someone asked that. Amber asked that. Let me see. What do you do for the first day of kindergarten? My oldest will be starting next year, so I'm wondering what I should expect and try to accomplish. I am doing the video school for Becca this year for kindergarten, and I love it. It is expensive. It is $600, I believe, $650 for the whole curriculum. 200 of that is for the books, and then the rest is for, because you're basically renting the DVDs. So I choose the DVD option because a lot of times the Wi-Fi might be down or something. I don't really want to do the streaming. So they send you all the lessons together, and then each day is marked. You have a homeschool. I'll show you. I brought it with. They give you a manual for the Becca videos. And then so today it's going to open already to it. We did day 1, and it was a pretty easy day. They do Bible, which I really like. Everything is from the King James Version, which I would not use a curriculum that was not from the King James Version. And they learn scripture. So they're already teaching, I believe it's Matthew 6, 9 through 13 right now they're learning. So that's another great thing. They have them reciting verses every single day, and they learn it. They do Bible memory. And the teacher did a lesson on heaven, a beautiful home. And they do scripture memory. They do the Pledge of Allegiance. They do songs, and sometimes they do games. So I really like that. I really like the interaction that the teacher has, even with the students that are watching. Then they do skills development. And here she just kind of went over the rules that they were doing today. And she actually went over manners, like how to wash your hands after you go to the bathroom. And Lana came to me later in the day, and she had told them, okay, you wash your hands, you get a little bit of soap, and then you flick your hands like this. Flick, 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 and get the water off so you don't drip on the floor. And Lana came to me at like 2 or 3, and she had just gone to the bathroom. She's like, Mommy, I was paying so much attention to my teacher. I remembered to flick, flick, flick my hands after I washed them. So I thought that was cute. She was listening. And then they do phonics. She learned capital I and little I. And Lana is number 6. So I have not spent a lot of time drilling stuff in her head. So she doesn't know her letters yet. So this is all new to her. So she learned I, and then she did numbers. They do numbers and counting and things. And as we get further into it, they have these little books that they learn. They do a Becca kindergarten learns, or I was reading learn. They teach the phonics system. So and they have ladders with different phonics. So these are what she's learning first. It looks like A, E, I, O, and U, all the vowels. I'm reading this backwards. So she has not started in this, obviously, because they teach them all this first, and then it kind of builds, on each other. So they have a bunch of these little books that they're reading. So they're reading, I believe it's, they teach them the phonics and then sight words and things like that. So I really like Becca videos. I know some people don't like them, but the videos for high school Dina, they are or Dinah, however you say your name, they're very advanced. In fact, my girls both did a Becca last year. And when I went to go place them in the math, the teaching textbooks, they're actually probably a year ahead. I probably could have put them in a year ahead in the math, but I just kept them where they were supposed to be. So the Becca math is very advanced. It's very accelerated. I have heard good things about the Life of Fred. I know Karen Rodriguez uses Life of Fred. So that's another option to look into. I've never heard of Mathtacular. Mathtacular DVDs are great. It's more of a supplement for us. The guy in the video really breaks it down in such a simple way. I almost feel stupid for not thinking to explain those things. And that's why I like other people teaching math. My brain does not compute well with math. So it's really good if you have someone else teaching that. So Rita said we're using ACE for English. One of my daughters will be doing Sax and Algebra 1/2. My son did that last year, and it was pain-free. And the other will be finishing up a Becca Consumer Math. We will be using a Becca for everything else. If you're using the Becca curriculum, your kids are getting an accelerated education. I really believe in their curriculum. I just wish that it was more affordable. It is rather expensive. So I would have my 3 youngest in the Becca Video School if I could, but I can't swing the price. Like I said, Lana's is like $650. The nice thing is that they do have payment plans. If you can't pay it all up front, you just have a small down payment, and then you can pay monthly. So I'm only paying $65 a month until it's paid off. So Gina said, a friend of mine used a Becca K5 and now First for first videos and loves them. It's a good fit for their family. And, you have to just kind of make this decision for your family. I've heard a lot of moms don't like them having screen time. But I think it's great because they have good teachers. Rebecca used good teachers, and they really, really engage the kids. And I cannot, for 5 of my children, stand up in front of them like the teacher does and do, 2 hours or 3 hours, whatever the videos are, 2 hours a day of teaching them like she does. So I really like it. I really, really like it. So, Rita said we'll be starting the day after Labor Day. Even though my girls are in high school, the first week is tiring. It's very tiring. I don't know. It's just like getting back into the routine and the schedule. It really, really drains me. I just know the first week of school, I'm going to be so drained emotionally. I almost took a nap today, in fact, because I was just so tired. And I almost felt like I was getting sick. I don't know if I'm getting sick or if it was just because I was so worn out from the first day of school. But I normally start the day after Labor Day, but I wanted to get a week ahead this year. I'd really like to finish the 3rd week of May if we could. And we're taking Friday off because we're going to be going to a soul winning thing. So I really wanted to just start a week early just for the extra days that we take off. So Monica said, I wish Becca has the discounts BJU Press does. If you purchase at a convention or meeting, it's 25%. Wow. Of all curriculum and 50% off if you purchase more than sub. Wow, that's a really good discount. Becca does not have that. I think the only discounts they have is if you do the video school, if you go to a convention, you get a $50 first student off, like $50 off for if you're the first student doing it. And if it's your first time, and then you get $50 off for early enrollment. But I didn't even get any of those discounts this year because all those discounts ended August 12th. And I got it August 13th. I couldn't believe it. Are you serious? So I didn't even get those discounts. And then Ashley said, 50% off DVD online subjects. I've had some people that have tried the BJU Press video school, and they were not they didn't like it as much as Becca. I don't know. I feel like Becca has a leg up when it comes to that. But I actually went through Bob Jones Academy when I was in high school, and I went there for the graduation ceremony and everything. And their stuff is very similar to Becca. It is also very accelerated, but I happen to just like the structure of Becca better since I've started homeschooling. I don't know. Ashley said, my mom was a teacher for almost 30 years in Christian school, and we were homeschooled some. She believes Becca has the best phonics and math. And then Jen, you started last month. You got a really early start, but it's so because you're expecting a baby soon. So you want enough time to pause and enjoy baby time. That's important. You need to take time off for baby. Back when I had Kelly, it was in January, and I don't even think, did we even take a Thanksgiving break? If we did, it was just a couple days, and we only took 1 week off for Christmas because I wanted to take a couple weeks off when she was born. So we did take, I think, 2 weeks off maybe after she was born. But then by that time, I was just ready to go back to the schedule. So I'm like, let's get back in school. But yeah, Becca is very top notch. So here is one of the things it's between this physical science or I have Apologia. I think that's what it's called. Physical science coming for Abby. I looked at ACE and I really did not like ACE's physical science. It's extremely boring, difficult, and I feel like it's math disguised as science, if that makes sense. And my boys really, really struggled through it really bad. So I wanted something a little more interesting. As you can see, Becca's just very nice and colorful. And I felt like as I was looking through it, they do have some of the chemistry stuff in there, but I felt like it looked more interesting, way more interesting than ACE. So she's going to be doing this year. It's a pretty thick book. It has, let's see, almost over 500 pages in it with all the stuff at the back. But as they go through, there's just different things. This is what she's either going to be doing, this or the Apologia. I think that's what it's called. And then she's also going to be doing the Kings. And this is the Kings of Israel. And I did this instead of her Old Testament from ACE. Old Testament is also another thing that is pretty difficult. But, this can be pretty difficult too. Like, this says David and Saul both sinned, compare their sin, their response to God, and God's response to them, the consequences of their sin. And then they're supposed to write a big old long essay. So I like that it has, this is all going over the Kings, and there's another book with it. I didn't grab, I don't think. But this is going over the Kings. So this is, I think this is an older curriculum, but I just had it. So I'm like, I'm going to have her do it. Because it's good. And, some people also, some homeschooling families, especially if you're in the pastor's family, they don't do Bible for their kids at home because they get so much in church. And our kids do get a lot of Bible in church. But I feel like this is just more personal. And it sticks with them more if they also do it through school. So I do Bible reading. Allie is doing Bible reading this year through ACE. So Dana asked how many people follow August to May school year versus all year school. I do last week of August, first week of September to end of May. My summers are so crazy. I really, really love my summers. And we have just a little pool outside that the kids can swim in. And I feel like I'd rather have them outside during the summer, swimming, enjoying it, than inside doing school. So now you guys have seen my homeschool planner book that I really, really like. But I did not have the resources to get it this year. So I got this junky one. And I'm really regretting it. Especially since Kimmy was sending me pictures of hers. I'm like, oh, this is actually only supposed to be for one student. So, and it was a cheap $7 planner. So I made it my own. It's only supposed to be for one student. But I made it for this many students. And I wrote their things and they highlight it off when they're done. But this is nice because I will have this for lesson plans. I'll do my lesson plans there. There's a weekly recap. And then there is, let me find it. There's an attendance register that I can keep track if I want to. And then there's also, where did that grade? Oh, there's grades. I can keep track of all their grades, which I haven't done it yet. I'll probably be drawing lines through them and everything. The most important reason that you want, that was not grammatically correct, but the most important thing about keeping a planner is you want to have all their grades, especially if you have kids in high school. Because this is my son's transcript. And as you can see, I have all of his subjects that he did, along with all of his grade point averages and his grades, everything right there. And so because I have kept every single grade that my kids have ever gotten since I started homeschooling, and in these I kept them in the back like this, because I've kept every single grade, I'm able to average them. And that's super important just for records. Someone asked, does your state require you to turn quarterly reports to your local public school? No, hallelujah. It's so funny because California and Illinois are two of the most liberal states that there are, but we barely have any homeschooling requirements at all, which is super nice. So Illinois is actually better in that regards than Iowa. Iowa is getting worse and worse. And Iowa is more of a conservative state than Illinois is. Iowa is getting worse with vaccinations and wanting to come into your home and things like that. Illinois is not at all. So it's really, really nice. Kimmy has this planner, the Ultimate Homeschool Planner by Deborah Bell. This is my ultimate favorite. It's so great. You can put so many kids in there. See, like this, I had all 6 of them I was doing stuff with last year. So you can put all of those kids in there and then, their schoolwork and everything. So this is awesome. I've never found one that's better. So then you have, here's the ACE books. If you've never seen an ACE book, I kind of showed you the Abeka one. This is a PACE. This is an English PACE. This is Allie, 3rd, 4th grade, starts in 37, I believe. And so this is 39. So this is a couple paces into it. But basically what I have my kids do is I have them do 5 pages a day in their main subjects, their main core subjects. Their core subjects are math, word building, science, which is social studies, and English. And I have them do 5 in that. For their electives, which are Bible reading, literature and creative writing, any of the high school electives, they're shorter books. This has 39 pages. Some of their electives have like 27. So they're really, really short. So I make them do 3 pages. But this, it's a decent curriculum. I like it. Now, the thing with ACE that you have to be careful about is children will try to make shortcuts. You have to stay on top of them. You have to make sure that they're checking. I do have my kids score their own. They have, let's see, about every 4 or 5 pages, they have where you're supposed to go score. And then after they score, they're supposed to go correct them. And then they're supposed to rescore. And then they're supposed to correct. So they're supposed to correct their mistakes, and then they're supposed to rescore it and make sure that they got those right. So what you'll find with ACE is a lot of times kids will just score it, and then they'll try to remember the answers and then go back and try to fix them real quick before they forget, and then go rescore it, which that's a shortcut. Or with some of mine in the past, they have just pretended to be scoring and they weren't scoring, because it is kind of a pain to have to get the score key out and go through each answer. And it just shows that they're lazy when they try to do shortcuts. So you have to stay on top of it, make sure that they're scoring. I would always find out that they weren't scoring correctly if they would bomb a test. And so then I'd be like, you bombed a test. You were cheating. And we call it cheating, because if you don't score right, that is cheating in our house. So they would get big, big trouble. Hi, Leslie. You just started today too, huh? So, these are both English. I grabbed 2 English. Oops. So yeah, this is for, and they're pretty. They're like colorful and things. Leslie, how many do you have in school this year? I have 5. I'm doing 5 this year. So Jason's pretty easy though, because he only has like 4 subjects or something, because he's finishing up. Oh, 6. Whew, that was me last year. I had 6. That's a lot. You just like mentally struggle. That's a lot. So how many of you guys started today? It looks like a lot of us started today. So we're all feeling the first day of school fog. So Dana said she scores theirs for them, and then they go back and redo. And my best friend Erica, she scores hers too. I'm like, I don't know how you do it. And she spends hours scoring it. Oh, and I'm just like, I don't have the time. I don't have hours to just sit there and score all their work. And she's like, well, I really want to know what they're doing, and I want to make sure they understand it. I'm like, oh, you have way more patience than me. So 6 kids is a lot, especially if they need help. Like today, I have Chloe like trying to figure out her math, and then I have Lana started with her video school, and then Allie's trying to find a score key, and Jason and Abby are pretty much the only ones I wasn't like running crazy trying to figure stuff out. So, and a lot of patience, definitely a lot of patience. This is Jason's accounting, and if you order it through ACE when they're in high school, it's actually Alpha Omega Publications, but I like this accounting. It seems really nice. Tommy did it last year. They have colorful stuff throughout. No, kindergarten ACE is not. You have to devote, if you're going to do kindergarten for ACE, it is doable. I have taught 5 of my children how to read doing ACE kindergarten, but it is a lot of work on Mama's part, because there's a big manual that comes with it, with ACE, with AC and Christy, and you have to like read, go through stuff with them every day. You have to do the story with them. You have to do the song with them, which just makes it more fun for them. But it's a good 2 or 3 hour process if you're doing things right. So it's not my favorite either. And that's why I went ahead and did the videos this year. Like I said, I know it's expensive, but I feel like my sanity, I could afford the $65 a month until it's paid off, just for my sanity's sake. So I'll let you know if Lana is reading better compared to my kids at the end of the year that did ACE. So I'll let you know. When I started, I had done ACE with Allie, kindergarten, and I started her on the Abeka videos in 1st grade. And I felt like she was a little bit behind compared to the other kids with her phonics and her reading, but she caught up really quickly, and she was ahead in math. So she had actually done better in ACE math and was ahead, but she was a little behind when it came to the reading. But when they're that little, they catch up quickly. So let's see. And I've not heard of Christian Light. Does anyone else use Christian Light? I have heard of, what is it? Sunlight, I believe. I've heard of, what is that place near me? Liberty? No, that's not it. I've heard a lot of different things. But their accounting book, let me get back to this, for high school. If you order ACE accounting, it will be through Alpha Omega. And I like this. So I've never really looked into Alpha Omega publications, but they're called Life Packs. But this seems like it's very comparable. Very, very. Oh, yeah. Leslie does 100 easy lessons to teach your child to read. Is that like what the curriculum's called, or is there anything else that it's called? I hear my baby crying. Try to hurry this up. It's only 7:30. Now, I'm excited about this. I was going to screen share this, but if you go to, I really like this, and we started this with my girls today. Let me do this right. Okay. readyourselfandeducation.com. Okay. That's the name of it. And it is literature-based learning. Okay, so here is the first part of it. I put it in this binder, and it's my friend Mrs. Anderson is doing a curriculum, which is really nice. Oh, baby, what's the matter? What's the matter? What? Come here. Oh, baby's been bad. She's crying. She's been a mama's girl lately. Come here. And her hair's crazy. Who's that? Look at that. Look at that little girl. Hey. Say hi. She was so good at church yesterday, and then today, first day of school, bad. She ripped out one of her ponytails. That's why it's there. Leslie, your turn will be coming pretty soon for a little girl. Yeah. You're being bad girls. So this is literature based. Kelly's gonna help me show you it. And it's really cool because you can do it all from your library, which I really, really like. So it's gonna save me some money because for ACE, I'm not doing social studies or science. For Chloe and Allie, I am doing this curriculum. So we chose China. So we're doing China right now. And she puts in there just a ton of books. So we got a ton of books about China, and she has like the reference numbers, which really help you when you're looking for them, because it is kind of a chore. I'm not going to lie. It is kind of a chore going to the library and having to search for all these books and things. So she gives the reference numbers, which really helps narrow them down. And then you go grab books you want. So you could even do literature, because I did buy literature for my girls, but you could do literature as well if you wanted to. But this year we're just doing science and history. So what we did is we grabbed a whole lot of books about China. Chloe is 7th grade, so she needs a little more, a little harder books. So she has a book about, what is that book called, Chloe? The Girl with Red Scarf. It's a thicker book, and it's for more advanced readers, obviously. So she's reading that. And then they're reading resource books about China. And then they're also, for science, we are doing pandas. And so today we read a book about a panda, and then I had them pull up some videos on YouTube about pandas. So they got to watch some educational videos about pandas. We're also doing ducks, and then I think cranes was another one. What was another one of the birds that it said was relative to China? And I believe it takes 2 weeks to go through each, if I'm not mistaken. 2 weeks to go through all of them. And she even gives a breakdown of like different grades and what year to do it. So it's really cool. But if you go to readyourselfandeducation.com, she is letting you print off the first 25% of the book, which is really cool. So you can get the first 25% free, and then you can try it out, see if you like it before you buy it. So yeah, she is stealing the show. Her sister's making her laugh. So I heard her screaming out there. Yeah, she is. Her hair is like thinned around the edges, but it's still, look at all that on top. It's crazy. She looks so crazy. So Jen said, I went to the library today for the Reading Yourself. What is it? I can't remember what it's called. Reading Yourself Around the World curriculum? Read Yourself Around the World curriculum. I'm looking forward to all the books. We also use Story of the World audios. So Chloe, you want to grab her? Maybe if she just sees me, she'll be good. Just stay right there with her. Some of the books. So I got The Legend of the Kite that we're going to be reading for China. And look at this. I got this huge, I only did a little bit. Ow, I just slammed my finger. Look at the huge stack of books I got. It's like a wooden spoon in there. Look at the huge stack of books that I got. But I got her. I got, this is like a third year reader. So Allie can read these. This is like her level. And then this is the book we read on the Great Panda Tale. There's a lot of thicker books about China. And my library had a lot. And like I said, this is only just skimming the surface. This is more fun. You know, who remembers Miss Frizzle? I love Miss Frizzle. So that one's fun. And then there's some cute little ones like this that Allie can even read to Lana, because Lana sat in there when we were doing the whole thing too. And then you have different subjects that you can branch off into, like, you know, the Emperor Silent Army. If you've ever seen those statues that are there, the dynasties of China you can go into and kind of explain all that. You can go the Silk route. This is Emma and the Silk Train. And then if you're going literature route too, you have different books like Stone Soup you can read. I got 2 of those. Or, you know, like I said, Legend of the Kite. Or you can talk about, you know, the Great Wall of China, which we've already started going into. So that's some. The rest are at home. The ones that they were reading are at home. So read yourself an education around the world. Thank you, Angeli. But that's how I say your name. And let's see. So Jen said the 100 Lessons book is like $11 or so on Amazon. That's awesome. So it's just a book that you use for the 100 lessons? That's what I'm wondering. Mrs. Turner, Sarah said, let me see. Hope said, let me go back a little bit. So Sarah said Alpha and Omega is what my mom used. Okay. You're the first one I've ever met that used that. I've never met anyone that used that. And then Jen said, for kindergarten, we do teach your child to read in 100 lessons. If they don't know their ABCs and numbers, we work on that. If they do CTC math. And then Alicia said that was a good, I've never actually even looked into that. So, and then Shara said, apparently my mom did a Becca with my brother Sean. Hoping I can be living in the USA by the time we have kids in school, us too. Amber said, I like the idea of the 100 Easy Lessons book. And that's really good if you can find it for like $11. Does anything else go with that, or is it just the book? I know, Leslie, she is big. She just started solid food. Well, I tried her on baby food, and she's not liking it very much. And there's a lady that just started coming to our church with a little boy that's just a couple months ahead of Kelly, and she does the baby-led weaning. I don't know if you've ever looked into it. This is totally off topic, but it's just adult food, basically. And your child learns to gum it, bite it, take bites, and things like that. And since I've switched her over to just adult food and dropped baby food, she is like loving it. We had Chinese stir fry tonight and watermelon, and she just devoured it. She was loving it. So it's a little nerve-wracking. I'm totally not used to it because they do choke and gag a lot when you first start them out because they're learning how to chew, especially if they've done the baby purees and they just swallow. But she's really, really liking the real food. So, yeah. Baby-led weaning is the best, Leslie said. Okay, so there's just a book with it. Kirsten said we started sing, spell, read, and write for kindergarten. I've never heard of that either. Yeah, baby-led weaning. Have you guys done it with all your kids? I still feel like I'm having a hard time giving up control. Like, I still want to stick a little bite of food in her mouth because she does choke. She doesn't really choke. It's not choking. She gags, because babies' gag reflexes are closer to their mouth than ours are. So she gags a lot. So I'm always trying to, I was like, oh, I'm so nervous. It makes me nervous. I'm not ready to give full control and let her have complete control over food. Yeah. Holly said we did baby-led weaning with both Clara and Anna. Worked great. A lot of you guys have done it. She has eaten everything we've given her so far with adult food. With baby food, not so much. She didn't like applesauce. There's a lot of stuff she didn't like. She only liked a couple of the baby foods that we even tried. But with adult food, she is just like devouring all of it in sight. She loves it. Make sure she doesn't get that cap off her mouth. So that's about all I have. That's kind of my schedule. Oh, I went up to like 9 in the morning and then I just stopped there. Okay, so we started school about 9:30 and we did take a lunch break. And I feel like, what time did we get done with school today? Was it 2?
I think it's done like 2:30.
2:30? Yeah, it was right around 2. We kind of had a late start though, and we did take a lunch break. So, and we had to look for a lot of stuff, and it was just kind of chaotic. So I'm kind of hoping that usually everyone's done with school by 1-ish, and you can usually get school done in about 4 or 5 hours, which is about what it takes us. So usually everyone's done by then. I'm trying to get the microphone. Oh, you got marker on your hand. Look at that. You got marker on your hand. You see? Say hi. Say hi. So Emily said she's doing really pretty well with the lessons. I love the idea of having a theme and reading about different countries. Kirsten said, I wish I knew something that was the awesomeness equivalent of baby-led weaning for a homeschool curriculum. Like I said, the nice thing is that you can mix and match. So this year, like I said, for math, we're doing the teaching textbooks, except for Jason, who's doing Alpha and Omega Math. We are doing ACE for a few subjects. We are doing the Read Yourself Around the World curriculum for a couple subjects for 2 of my girls. And I'm doing a backup for some of the subjects. So the nice thing is that you can really mix and match, which I love about homeschooling. You don't have to stick to just one curriculum. When they go to the public school, it's not tailored to each student's needs. It's just whatever the school offers. So I really like that you can tailor it to each student's age. Yes, Jen, my kids, they do 5 pages on the core subjects, but I will tell you, if you do about 150 to 170 days of school a year, if you do 5 pages, they will be working ahead because that will get them done pretty quick. So if you want to stretch that out a little bit more, I would say about 4 pages, maybe 3 to 4 pages, if you want to stretch it out a little bit. And yes, I do take random days off. Like I said, this Friday we're taking off. So that's kind of why I like to get an early start. We did already have our vacation. So most of the time we go on vacation in like October. But we did already have our family vacation. So we won't be going on vacation. So I will take off probably a week for Thanksgiving. And then I'll take off 2 weeks for Christmas probably. So you want to go see Chloe? Go see Chloe? You're so noisy. Brain Quest. I was surprised today. My girls actually didn't forget as much as they normally do in summer. So I was happy with their math. Usually Allie's forgotten like everything. But she did forget how to write a cursive J, which I was kind of like, how do you forget that? But she forgot that. So how long does a typical day for a kindergartner last? I would say 2 to 3 hours. If you're doing, especially if you're teaching them, if you're using the ACE, it takes about 2 hours, 2.5, 3 hours, something like that. For Lana, her day was only about 2 hours today once she got through everything. So I am using the Abeka books. I'm not doing the Abeka classes. I'm only doing the videos for Lana, who's in kindergarten. Samantha asked. And even with Lana, I signed her up as an individual, as an independent student. I didn't really want to go through them for anything. So La Familia said, because we did Becca for kindergarten, it was about 3 hours or a little over. Becca encourages breaks in between, and I highly recommend that as well for kindergarten, yes, because kindergartners have very short attention spans. So if they need a break, give them a break. If they want to eat an apple, let them eat an apple. So, and then for ACE, it's a couple hours a day. But here's the thing. That's not really that much in this grand scheme of things. I mean, you can sit down and watch a documentary or a movie for 2 hours and not blink. So if you really invest and you do it every single day and you're very consistent, you will teach your child to read no matter what curriculum you use. It really does take consistency. So whereas I like some of these curriculums better than others, if you're just consistent, they're going to learn. That's just the bottom line. There might be some superior curriculums to others, like Becca might be superior to ACE, but if you're doing it every day, your kids are going to learn. ACE does kind of get a bad rap, but I feel like that's because that's on the parents a lot. They're not making it work. And I really feel like you can make ACE work. You just have to stick with it and be consistent. That's the main thing, is consistency with any curriculum. So Dana said I have to do 180 a day. Wow, that's a lot. I think with Becca, it's 170 a day. And that's kind of about what I do, is 170. So 3 pages a day. Yeah, if you did 3 pages a day, you would definitely make that stretch. I guess I did 5 because when we were at Lighthouse and my husband was the head of the school there, they did 5, but actually that's a little overkill because they took Mondays off. So they only did school 4 days a week. So that's probably why they had to do 5, just to get done with their 12 paces a year. But I don't know, it was like a habit, so just kind of stopped. I'd rather finish too early than too late. So Jen said we got some of the Costco workbooks for fun during the summer for some of the kids via their request. So that's nice that your kids want to learn. They're like $8. Kirsten said, I wanted to mention Bob books for kindergarten reading. My daughter is reading through them so well. That's cute. Kirsten, I wanted to mention today, I took pictures of Allie and Lana. My older ones wouldn't cooperate for first day of school. And it was like a board that you write on. And there was a place to put your best friends. And for some reason, like the first one that popped in Lana's head was Freya. She thinks she's one of her best friends. So I thought that was really funny. I meant to tell you about that. So yeah, even though she's only met Freya like twice or seen her like twice, she's one of her best friends apparently. So, so funny. So there's some other suggestions. So we got a lot of good suggestions in the chat. So if you're just starting out for kindergarten, 100, is it easy lessons to read? I already forgot it. 100, I have first day of school brain fog. Yeah, so 100 easy lessons to read or something like that. Bob books, Life with Fred books. We did have someone say they did Alpha Omega, Becca. I feel like for the most part, everyone here kind of knows like the Becca and ACE curriculum the best. So for kindergarten, like I said, ACE will work, but it is teacher dependent. You have to really make sure that you teach it every single day. So I've never looked into Bob books. And there's also one Jen said called Dash into Learning. So that's how Freya is. That's cute. Dana said, I also tell my kids when the ACE workbooks are done, their school year is done. My oldest works hard to finish early. Yes. My kids have finished. Now, last year, because we started the first week of September and because we did go on vacation for almost 2 weeks, we had taken 2 weeks almost off right away. We did not finish until the end of June. What am I saying? End of May. We did not finish until the end of May. And that was with them actually doubling up on some of the stuff. But yes, once they finish their 12 books, they're done. So sometimes they'll work a little bit ahead near the end of the school year because they're like, I just want to be done. So I'm like, as long as you have those 12 books finished, then you could be done. So Kelly asked, anyone do Mystery of History or Life of Fred? Yes, some people in here were saying they liked Life of Fred. I've never heard of Mystery of History. So Story of the World, what exactly is that? I've never heard of some of these curriculums. Someone said, I'm going to 6th grade in a new school and I'm very scared but very happy. Do you have any advice to get over my fear? So I would say, just try not to worry about it and get yourself in a tizzy. Just be yourself, try to be friendly. The Bible says a man that has friends must show himself friendly. So try to really be friendly, but try to just be yourself, pick your friends wisely. You want to hang out with the good kids and try to hang around good influences. And then just work hard, work hard at your schoolwork. Try to learn as much as you can now. I wish I would have worked a little harder. I always liked school though. So I love learning. I love reading new things. I love researching. I was like learning stuff about China when I was doing the study with the girls and learning stuff about pandas. I didn't know pandas babies were like that small. They're so cute. So we got to watch videos about pandas and I just like learning. So yeah, just be yourself and try not to worry about it. Try not to obsess about it. And if you just are smiling and you're happy and you're friendly, you'll do fine. You'll do fine in school. So Kelly asked, would you recommend them? Would you recommend that resource to do? So if there are any more questions, I'm going to be about wrapping it up. Any more suggestions? How do your guys' schedule look? What are you laughing at? Do you guys get done? What is your time frame for getting done with school? High school, middle school? My kids are being weird. High school, middle school, kindergarten, 1st, 2nd grade, or elementary. What are your time frames that you look at doing school? Leslie, if you have 6 kids, you're probably doing it like all day long. I feel bad for you. Oh, plus being pregnant. That's a lot. Jen said, we do the Story of the World audios. The kids enjoy listening to them. They also have really enjoyed the Life of Fred stories. We have only done the math, not the LA. I don't know what LA is. Wendy said, I'm usually done by 12:30. Sometimes we are. It just depends. 12:30, that's a little early. I would say that's pushing it. Probably 1, 2 at the latest, which it was 2 today, but because it was the first day. And she is 1st grade and kindergarten. Oh, that's good. For a 1st grader and kindergartner, yeah. 12:30 is a great time. Oh, language arts. I was thinking LA the place. I don't know what that is. Not the language arts. Okay. Cindy said we are usually done around 2. That's good. And you got to remember too, we're starting a little bit later than public school. I believe public school starts at 8 a.m. if I'm not mistaken. So is it 8 a.m. that they start?
Bailey starts at like 7:30.
Bailey starts at 7:30. So they start pretty early. And then plus we have breaks. It's not just work nonstop. This one's being a little. She seems to be fine as long as she's in here with Mama. So La Familia said right now 3rd and 4th is 8 a.m. to 11. We start later. We end by 12 or 12:30. My kids check out after that. Yeah, kids kind of have a short attention span. And then Kelly said our time frames are all around out-of-house activities, so mostly afternoons going from like 12 to 4. That's another thing I was going to mention too. I'm more of a get your school done in the morning type person. I feel like by afternoon I'm really dragging. I need that extra cup of coffee most days. So I really try to be done by 1 or 2. So when I schedule my appointments, I don't do morning appointments. I block that time off. And I'm like, this is school. This is for school. This is super important. So I do all of my appointments at like 1 or 2-ish, which we should pretty much be done by then. And then same with Abby's piano lessons and things. That's not until the evening. And just because it's too hard if you're like running errands in the morning, I want to have that time blocked off for school. So, but if you're an afternoon learner, then you can do what she did and you can do all your errands in the morning and then block off the afternoon. Maybe you like to do that because your kids take naps. Well, Kelly is the baby who never sleeps, so that doesn't even matter. And she's actually a little bit better in the morning versus the afternoon. The afternoon, she's super high maintenance. She's always high maintenance. But as you can see, just slobbering mess. She's always high maintenance, but more so in the afternoon. So I really like to just block that off. And also another tip, stay on top of the grading. If you get behind, it's like climbing a mountain. Well, it's kind of like laundry. When you get behind on laundry, it's like climbing a mountain to get caught up. It's like climbing a mountain to caught up on your grades if you get behind on grades. So really try to do lesson plans and really try weekly at least to grade tests, to grade if you score their books, do it maybe every morning with their coffee before they start school. Definitely stay on top of the grading. And I'm speaking from experience because I've gotten behind many, many times. In fact, last year it was bad. I think we just finished scoring the test yesterday, something like that. So recording the grades. Yes, I have an older daughter. Why are you asking? She does have. I have a lot of older daughters. Not a super older daughter, but okay. So Jen said all their stuff is pretty self-done. That's another thing. The Becca is more geared towards a teacher environment, a teacher doing it. Why are you asking about my daughter? She's, I don't know, 15. 14. I don't even know how she is.
15.
Yeah.
Almost 15.
So Kelly said, yeah, that's what I thought, Amber. Kelly said, we used to be morning, but naturally we switched to the afternoons because it just kind of worked out. If that works out best for you, then go for it, especially if you have younger. Okay. Especially if you have younger kids that will take naps. Okay. This guy is weird. There we go. That was a little creepy. Got a creepster on there. I know, that's what I thought. So you got to get at least one troll, right? And then Samantha said, we started school August 12th because our county starts early, and that's what my kids were accustomed to doing. We actually started school later than the county. They started on the 8th. On the 8th of August? You know, I feel like the teachers are getting mad that they're not getting summer pay, so they're just like pushing the time back. Because back when I was a younger, when I was a young whippersnapper, when I was a young kid growing up, school always started the day after Labor Day. That's how it always was. But as I get older, they're just pushing school further and further back. So, yeah, he's a weirdo. You know, I just get these vibes with people. And from the instant that he even started his first message, which is kind of weird. Like, whatever. Weirdo. Get off of here. So he's hidden. Sorry about that. I try to keep the trolls and stuff out of the chat. So Kimmy said it. So the semester ends by Christmas. Yeah. Well, I feel like they're just getting earlier and earlier and earlier. And Angelique said school starts in September here in the UK. That's nice. That's nice. I like the later start personally, but we cut it too close last year. And I'm like, I gotta have my summers. So we started a week early. Might as well. And even, you know, my kids told me they would rather get back to the routine and things and the schedule. You told me that, Abby. Don't act like you did it. She told me that. So Angela or Kelly asked, what do you think about secular homeschool groups? I don't like them. I feel like you have to be careful, you know, who your kids are around. And I would rather just have my kids around Christian kids here at church than do a secular homeschool thing. I've never been a part of a homeschool co-op. A lot of times the people are just a little odd. A lot of them, maybe they're home churchers or they have weird doctrinal beliefs. And I don't want my kids being confused by becoming friends and being good friends with someone that maybe is so different. So I'm going to be doing homeschool activities though through your church. So your local church is a great idea to do homeschool activities. I'm going to be planning some for this year. We have a lot of homeschoolers coming now. So we're going to be doing homeschool activities, different museums, different outings and things. So definitely try to do something for your local church if they offer it. And I know a lot of IFB churches do offer that. They offer homeschool activities for the kids. So definitely be involved with that and get your kids there. And then, you know, they're around other Christians and things. So yeah, Kimmy said I would stay far away from secular homeschool groups. I agree. I just don't think it's wise to have your children around, you know, non-saved. people. So, and Kirsten said, working mothers want to pay for less childcare, so starting school earlier is good for them. Yeah, that is true. It is good for the working mothers. So, and that's why too, like even in Illinois, they have like all these programs for like 3-4-year-olds, like they have Head Start. They're always trying to get your kids into those type of programs. And it's just basically government daycare. So no thanks. No thanks. I'm not going to have my child being watched by someone that doesn't know them, especially if they can't talk. They can't even voice what they, if anything happens to them. So Samantha said, our church unfortunately barely has children, but I've been told that the Christian schools in our area allow homeschoolers to attend their field trips. If it's a good Christian school, that'd be fun, especially if you could go along as a chaperone or something and be there with your kids when they go to those. That would be really fun. I'd suggest, I would look into that. When I was being homeschooled, I actually got to play in sports teams, which I really enjoyed. And most of the games that we played was against Christian schools. So that was really fun. It was not secular though. It was a Christian, it was like out of a church. It was like a Christian ministry type thing. So the majority of the people were professing Christians. So, hey, Chloe and Daniel like you, Kelly. Can you say hi to them? They're watching you. She's entertaining everyone tonight. She was screaming out there, but as long she's been super attached to mommy, and I'm pretty sure she said mama today. You say mama? You say mama? 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 No, she's just gonna blow raspberries. All the little kids like watching Kelly. She's prettier than me. She's got a prettier face than me, don't you? She's gnawing me. She's got sharp teeth. They waved back. Hi, Daniel. Hi, Chloe. We miss you. We miss you. See, she misses you guys too. She agrees with me. She agrees. Ow, I think she like drew blood. That hurt. Anyways, if there's no more questions, it is 8:00. It was good seeing you again, Leslie. I haven't seen you in the chat for a while. So good luck with homeschooling all those kiddos. Anyone else beat 6? Or does Leslie have us all beat? Anyone else homeschooling more than 6? I got 5. I did 6 last year. So I was tied last year. But I'm doing 5 this year. Is anyone else tied with 5? 6 here. Oh, Monica. Monica tied you. Samantha said just 2 on end so far. Look at her. She's just being crazy now. You're being crazy. You're being crazy. I think it's time for her to go. And Cindy said, I've only got 1. Well, then you can focus a lot of attention on them. Just remember, mamas, it's long and it's hard, but the days are long and the years are short. It's going to be, I cannot believe I'm only doing 5 because one of mine's graduated. I got him all the way through. So it'll be here before you know it. And then you're going to be thinking back when they're cute and miss those cuddles and those kisses. And I posted a really cute poem on the Facebook, the Gently Led Sisters Facebook. And it was really cute, talking about the last time. We're all going to have last times for things. We're going to have the last cuddle with one of our kids. And you're going to pick them up and carry them on your hip for the last time. You're going to nurse them for the last time. And oftentimes you don't notice, or you don't know that those will be the last time for those things. So enjoy it while you can. Try not to go crazy. I was thinking today, homeschooling is not really one of my favorite things. Mainly because of all the pressure and the mommy guilt and being pulled in 5 million ways, but it is the best thing. It is my only option. I will not send them to public school. I will not send them to a Christian school. It is the only option to homeschool. So hang in there. Do your best. Remember, you're raising the next generation. So I'm going to sign off because this one's being a loon. Say bye-bye. She's watching her sisters. They're being crazy. So I know, Holly. But you're right in the thick of things now with those little ones. I know it's hard, but just soak up their cuddles while you can. So Samantha said, people ask me all the time, how's school going? It's like they want to complain. So yeah, we can all have complaints, but At the end of the day, it's worth it. Homeschooling is worth it. Raising good kids is worth it. It's hard, but anything good in life is hard. Just remember that. So, what are you doing? She's too crazy. So, they want you to complain. I got it. Yeah, we all could complain. We could all find some area to complain, but try to focus on the blessings. All right, we're going to sign off because she's being insane. So, we'll see you guys next week. Bye.